Bows and bow ties. Okay, so look, I'm back to my morning schedule here. I haven't done this in a while. Let's see. I thought about throwing my intro on here, but I'm just gonna go right into it. Let's take a look at this thumbnail that you selected to get into this. Take a look. Now, what you see here on this thumbnail, for those of you in podcast land, there is a picture of Candace Dillard. You have Giselle. Bryant, I believe is her last name. You have Portia Williams, you have Marlo Hampton, and you have Mia Thornton. Thornton? Okay. Now I just picked some. I could have picked a host of others. I could have put Kenya Williams. No, Kenya Moore. I said Kenya Williams. Kenya Moore. I could have added others. Where am I going with this? So I want to talk about Black reality TV women. Okay, I just want to talk about this box that they have them in. And like I said, I just selected a few. Okay, so this is not an exhaustive list. So I want to welcome you to the channel. This is the Black Opinionated Woman, also known as a B.O.W. Okay, I talk about things that I want to talk about. I give my opinions primarily on things related to Black women, the culture, middle age, these types of things. All right, so I want to talk about Black reality TV women today because I just have to get something off my chest. I think I've alluded to a lot of this before. I probably would have to find the previous video or podcast, but I just feel like, please excuse me, I'm doing a lot of sniffling because I'm waiting for my allergy medicine to kick in. I I just believe that they have Black reality TV personalities, women. I think they put us in a box. Now I'm not on reality TV, so what I see is you have to fit a certain mold. You have to be in the archetype that's like overly sexualized, right? So many of our reality TV women show all their goods. You can't even have a regular photo without them having their stuff hanging out. Usually you get the top ties that are like front and center. Now, let me just say for the record, the fact that women have them, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And for the extreme feminists, they're going to say you should be able to do this, that, and the other. I don't think necessarily that having them and people noticing them are a bad thing. But what I am seeing is we have a problem in our culture with allowing ourselves to be overly sexualized. So of course I picked some of the shadiest pictures I could find from the internet. So I look at like Marlo Hampton, you know. Let me just say this: as quiet as this cat, well, it's not even quiet actually. She is flat out gorgeous. This is a gorgeous woman, but her value in herself is placed on, I think, just her looks and what she wears. And so, like, when I look at these women here, like the way they have the women on reality TV, well, I'm speaking right now to just the over sexualization portion. And I wouldn't say that Candace is over sexualized, but I have her up here for another reason. They put our women into one of three boxes. You're either over sexualized, you're either going to be the worst example of womanhood as far as how we drag each other, or we all look the same. Like we're all getting the same makeup, the same cosmetic surgery, and everything like that. Like what's considered beautiful is going to look a certain type of way. Okay. So, getting back to what I was saying about the over sexualization, I just feel like when we see our women, whether they're giving interviews or whatever, now it's like boobs are hanging out. And I'm like, come on. Can we just, for once, can you just put them away? I know men like looking at them, but I think men even feel at times like, okay, like she's just like, why is everything hanging out? I know like many men would feel like this is for me to see at home, right? Like, why does all of the world need to see the tatas? So anyway, I just feel like our Black reality TV women, we do have a responsibility on how we choose to show up, how we choose to present ourselves. And so I get it. I mean, like they're trying to make that money. And this is an avenue for how they can make money. I just feel like this is what people see of us all the time. Now, let me just say, I'm going to like split the fence here, or is it right the fence? It's not so much that I'm going out of my way to be concerned about what everyone in America thinks of us. I'm more concerned about what our children thinks of us because I feel like people in America, they're going to think what they think about us anyway, whether we fully clothed or naked. But my concern is for our girls, for our boys. Okay. Our girls should not have to feel like, in order to be seen, in order to be valued, that they need to show their tatas. Don't worry. I know you got a cough. Sorry, my child is next to me with a cold, so I think she feels bad that she had the cough. So anyway, I just feel like our daughters need to know, like, this isn't necessarily how you express your femininity, right? And our men need to see, like, this isn't necessarily how women have to express femininity in the presence of men. But let me move on past that. Just basically, hey, girls, women, ladies, can you tuck in the boobs? Just tuck them in. Now, before I move on real quick, because I said I was gonna move on, part of it's just that look, I don't have like an outstanding rack here that I can promote. But nevertheless, I just feel like we just need to think about the images and the messages that we're sending to our children. So, all right. The next point I want to make up is the fighting. I just feel like the recipe to be successful on these shows is to promote us fighting. Look at this sunrise. I just want to say, hey, let me pause. Look at this morning sun. I look like I am glowing. I probably can turn my light off. Yes, sunrise. All right. So anyway, um, I want to talk about the fighting. It's like the only way our lives could be seen as interesting is if they paint us as people who are constantly fighting. Okay. And so, like, I look at what we have up there. These women have all engaged in so much conflict. I think the nastiest one on here, I don't know if it's going to go to Candace Diller, that's the one in the purple dress, or Marlo Hampton at this point. And so what happens is a lot of people will co-sign bad behavior by saying, oh, well, someone said this, so they're justified in saying these nasty, mean things. And I'm not co-signing any bad behavior, but I feel like when I look at um what's happening here is they cast these personalities. I don't even know. Well, maybe these people really are just this nasty in real life, but all of them, if you the nastiness, I think the award has to, it's a tie between Candace and Marlo. They just go so low and they're so nasty. And you've got their fan base that will co-sign that behavior. It doesn't matter. Someone can say, oh, I don't like that shade of nail polish. And people will go for the jugular. Your mama, you're a 304. Your babies are ugly. Your man is this. You look like ridiculousness. I'm like, really? It was that serious that you have to do that? You've got the delusional fan base who will co-sign and support that behavior. They're just as delusional. There's a lot of delusional people out there. I said what I said. If you're mad, just be all the way mad. I don't even care. That just lets me know that you're on the ding dong bus. But the behavior is too much. Too much. And the thing that kills me about these women is like they clearly have a big personality and they have some sort of it factor, right? They can totally, they can totally be successful without having to be like Satan's minion. But these women just, oh my goodness. I want to talk about the makeup for a second. I should have found some other pictures, but I didn't have a whole lot of time because I got to like disconnect soon. I look at Mia Thornton, like in all this work she's had done. I look at, I should have found other pictures of Candace and Portia. They wear so much makeup, a pound of makeup. And I don't think makeup is bad. But it's just like, I'm like, whatever happened to natural beauty? And so what I find is that the type of woman that ends up on these shows now, they're pushing a certain aesthetic. Everybody has to wear these long weaves. Look at it. Every single one of them. Weaves aren't necessarily bad. It's just that everybody has the same look. Everybody's got the pound of makeup. Everyone's got the boobs out. Like that is like they're making like this prototype. And I feel like by them doing that, it just sends so many bad messages. So what people will say is, you need to raise your kids. It's not their job. I'm like, it is all of our jobs. We are a community. Whatever happened to being in community with people, whatever happened to it takes a village. Why do these women feel that they have to do these things? So I just feel like right now, if you're on TV as a black woman, everyone looks alike. I feel like they can all be stunt doubles at this point. They can all be doubles of each other. They all have the same blown up lips and stuff like that with the oversized boobs and everything else. And if they're not oversized, they're showing them for sure. It's like there's a reason why our female entertainers feel like they have to bump and grind all the time. Look at Chloe Bailey, a wonderful talent who has definitely sold her soul to Hollywood. You know where she's taking her cues from? Now, let me put my comment up. Hold on. Let me just, everything's just so much. She's learning from Beyonce. Beyonce hasn't figured out, like she's already a star, but she's still bumping and grinding, like trying to hold on to her youth, looking ridiculous. And then the people who sit there and support that, they're like, oh, you're just a hater. I'm not going to call me whatever you want. Beyonce does not pay my bills. I don't pay hers. But she's doing it. She's getting your money, though. You guys are propping her up. And she's coming out with the same bumping and grinding. And now she's cussing in her music. That's her evolution. Let's cuss more in music and let me show more of my body. Go ahead and grab what you need. Do you need something from out of the refrigerator? You sure? My son is getting ready to leave out for high school. And I'm almost done. So have a good day. So anyway, I just feel like, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. Our girls, our women, they don't feel like they don't have to be anything different. They don't. You got Beyonce out here. Everyone's like, oh, she's just evolved. Is she? Now her music is getting a little bit raunchier. She's cussing more. She's like, everyone's like, yes, she did that. All she's doing is just bumping and grinding and showing her body. Now, I don't know. I have to see where some of her recent stuff is. I heard a little bit of her music, her recent music. I was like, it's it's all right. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. I couldn't tell you anything. I couldn't even name a song. I only know a little bit, like if I hear it on the radio. Um, but then this is the last thing. I want to get back to the dragging. Black women on these shows relish. I think I had a video before. It's called Shade Read Drag. Black women love, love to shade, to read, and to drag each other. I can deal with a little bit of shade, but when it starts becoming a dragging session, like occasionally someone needs to be read, right? But like it shouldn't be like every episode. All it does is promote the fact that they can't get along, black women can't get together. And let me just say for the record, for people who want to get on here and say, like, but what about the other people? Listen, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about black women. I'm talking about my community. I'm not talking about these other franchises. I mean, I watched some of them too. They have different allowances. I'm talking about black women. I don't want to hear people talking about, like, well, other people, I don't care. We have to care about ourselves. We need to set the standard for ourselves. But people always want to fall back on other people. I'm like, stop worrying about other people. Worry about yourself. All right, that's it. Let me time for me to just say this. I get it. People don't want to hear about black women. Black women don't want to hear me talk about black women because they just want to hear me go on and on the men. But I'm like, black women are problematic too. Um, and I think you guys need to just hear it. That and the reason, let me tell you something. The best way to hear is to go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I got a whole lot to say. Just go ahead and subscribe. Let me tell you something. This sunlight is everything. Go ahead over there. Just go ahead and blow your nose, honey. This sunlight is everything. I mean, I feel like I could float up out of my kitchen right now. Look at this. You see this? All right. So, look, anyway, go ahead and subscribe because, well, I'm entertaining in my own weird kind of way. All right. It is what it is. Don't be mad. I mean, just let me know what your thoughts are. Put something in it. Comment. Let me tell you something. I do respond to comments sometimes. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm timely. Sometimes I'm not. But you should go ahead and put those comments down there. Let me know what you think. And for those of you out there in podcast land, if you want to catch me, I am on YouTube. I am the Black Opinionated Woman, also known as a B.O.W. You'll be able to find me because, well, I don't know. You'll know it's me. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a good one. And hey, look, mind the business that pays you. These are my both thoughts for today.